All right, hello everyone, welcome to 10 Minute Tasting. My name is Adam Hanover. I am the store manager at Rose Wharf in downtown Boston, and I am also the Area 72 Barista Champion. This is my weekly web series where every Tuesday I bring on a special guest for a coffee tasting, taster's choice, guest choice every single week. And as usual, if you want to join in with popping in some questions, comments down in the chat box, feel free. We'll definitely address you. If you are catching this on the replay on the YouTube channel, feel free to leave some comments. I'm always happy to respond to some comments and see some action going that way. That being said, I want to welcome my special guest for the day. I have Miss Angela Swope down in Boston from Maine. Welcome to the area, Angela.
Hi.
How about you introduce to us what we're tasting today and why?
Okay, today I chose Komodo Dragon.
Awesome.
We wanted to do a core coffee, and honestly, Komodo Dragon has never been a favorite for me, but I've been trying some different pairings to kind of see what I could pull out of the coffee and see maybe something new, a different way I've never tasted it before. So Komodo is perfect for a savory tasting. Sorry, there's a loud truck. I never really cared about many of the tastings that I had with sweet pastries that we had in the stores, but when I started experimenting with savory flavors, it kind of blew my mind. So Komodo is a really cool one to try with foods you've maybe never done a coffee tasting with before. So we can go right to the tasting.
Yeah, so to preface real quickly, this is the first time we've ever hosted the show outside. I've started outside and walked directly into a store after the introduction, but this is the first time we're doing the coffee tasting and the conversation on a patio. So if you hear some honking from taxi cabs, we're really sorry. We're going to try to be loud enough that you can hear all of our conversation.
It's just like you're right here with us.
Yeah, you're right here with us in the financial district. Welcome to downtown Boston, everybody. And how about we go through, let's start with our first step, which is?
Smell.
So we're going to take a nice sniff.
I definitely get some earthiness, but not really like dirt earthiness. I think Sumatra, like a single origin coffee, it smells really like dirt earthy, but Komodo is more smooth earthiness to me.
Yeah, for me, I get a lot of mellow earthiness from Komodo Dragon. Rather than getting actual earth, I pick up the mellow things that grow in the earth, like root vegetables, mushrooms.
Yeah.
That's what I tend to pull from Komodo Dragon. Good call.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna slurp. I'm gonna make a loud slurp.
Yeah, we're gonna. Adam? My slurp is not very good, but hopefully the trucks passing by can mask how poor my slurping skills are. Let's go for it. I piggybacked on your slurp, so it's sound, you can hear it, but it's not me. That's all her.
Slurp swiper.
All right. The key to the slurp, not necessarily the volume, but making sure you spread across your whole palate. You want every part of your tongue to have a little bit of coffee on it. The sound definitely helps. I've somehow managed to cultivate this skill where I can spread the coffee all the way across my palate without making too much noise.
Hey.
That's just because I'm really bad at slurping, and I just had to find a way to make it work.
Good skill.
But now that we've spread it across the palate, Ange, what's the importance of spreading it across your whole palate? Why do we do this?
Well, we want to aerate the coffee. That'll help us taste more like nuanced, delicate flavors if we kind of add some air to it. The same way that you aerate wine, you want to do that with your coffee too, but you can do it in your mouth when you're tasting it. And we also want to spread it on our whole tongue so we can taste it in the different parts of your tongue. You kind of taste different flavors on different parts of your tongue. So we want to make sure that we can coat our whole mouth with it so that we can taste the more specific notes of the coffee.
Absolutely, yeah. Depending on where on your tongue this tends to linger, where the flavor hits, where it tingles on your tongue, that's going to say a lot about the coffee. And we've done some different coffees from different growing regions the last month, and I've been really hitting this hard as we talk about it, is different coffees are going to hit you in different spots. And it doesn't hurt to look up your coffee resource manual. It doesn't hurt to look at the coffee fact sheet on the hub to find out where you should be locating this before you taste it, to find out, did I really slurp this correctly? If you're tasting French roast all down the sides of your tongue and on the front tip, you might not have slurped correctly. You probably just burned your tongue. But with the Komodo, it's really interesting. This lingers.
Yeah.
I haven't taken a sip in good 15-20 seconds now, and it's still lingering.
Yeah.
Where are you picking it up?
I kind of get a hit on the back of my throat, like the way back of my tongue, and that's a really cool part of Komodo. It's like a peppery pop on the back of your tongue.
Yeah, that's a good call. Definitely picking it up there. And as we move from step 3, locate, into step 4, describe, that peppery description. That's a good call. I never really think about that pepperiness or that herbaliness that I get from the Komodo. I think a lot more of the earthiness usually, but you really pulled that pepper good. And boy, it's interesting that you pulled the pepper out, because what are we tasting with this today?
Well, Adam, we have these peppercorn cashews.
Right.
Another thing from Starbucks that I thought, why do we have this pepper flavor? But it's so good with some of our coffees. So definitely try it with the Komodo. So we have a couple here.
Yeah. We don't usually do flavor pairings on the show. I'm really glad that we got a quick one that we can do today.
I love flavor pairings. Sorry while I talk with my mouth full. But the cashew is also great because it's such a creamy nut. It's like a soft, creamy nut. And so that goes really well with coffee, and it's so peppery. What do you think?
It's interesting that you brought up the nature of the cashew itself and not just the pepper on the outside of it. I hadn't thought about the body of the inside of a cashew. It's creamy, but there's a texture to it. And when we think about Komodo Dragon having a big body, something that lingers for a while, cashew is the type of nut that also lingers for a while in your mouth. This is different than, say, almond. That's kind of quick and goes away. The cashew lingers, the Komodo lingers, and now I've got a good creaminess sitting in the back of my throat. It's kind of coating the back of my tongue. And it really leaves great flavor. No aftertaste at all. It's just a really good lingering body.
Yeah, it's a good pairing. I was really delighted to find something that kind of went well with that peppery herbal flavor without overpowering the coffee, because the blended coffees can sometimes be delicate. They're more balanced, so you don't want anything that's going to wipe out your whole palate and take away those delicate flavors. You want something that really brings them out. So sometimes it's tricky to find that in a blended coffee pairing.
So the really cool thing that we have going on, one of the reasons why we don't tend to do pastry pairings or flavor pairings on the show is I don't like talking with my mouth full. I feel like it would be rude. And also, for simplicity's sake, to help understand the actual coffee itself, they didn't want to bring too much in, as this is designed to be a training tool for partners. However, a really cool thing that Ange was able to show here is just this bag of peppercorn cashews that we carry in our stores, along with the coffee. Just a real quick tasting. You guys can have this, right now. You can grab a bag of peppercorn cashews and have it with the coffee. It's really cool. We have another flavor pairing with us, however, that's a little bit on the outside of Starbucks. Ange, why don't you show them what you brought in?
Okay, just went to Trader Joe's and I picked out a cheese. So Sumatra and Komodo Dragon are both really great with cheeses. So if you want to explore a whole world, try coffee pairings with cheeses. So this one is a New Zealand grass-fed sharp cheddar that's aged also. So just like our aged Sumatra, the aging process brings out a lot of flavors in the cheeses too. So it's a really good creamy pairing. The same thing that a buttery pastry would do while you're tasting the coffee, it would go really well with the cheese too. So try this one.
Oh wow, that's really good.
You can kind of taste the grassy earthiness, like Adam was saying, that the herbal flavor of the Komodo is kind of a vegetable tasting herbalness, so the cheese I think really brings that out.
That's phenomenal. So I have done a lot of pairings with soft cheeses, but I tend to go to the smooth side, the mellow cheeses. I never really do a sharp cheese. That was really, really good.
Yeah, Komodo can kind of stand up for it. It's a strong enough coffee that you can really pair a lot of things with it because it can stand through. So it's
awesome.
Cool.
Well, Ange, that was a great coffee tasting.
Thanks.
You are right now at Mass Ave.
Yep.
Where'd you come from before that?
Well, right before that, I was in Portland, Maine. I lived there for 2 years and managed a store in the Maine Mall. Before that, I was an ASM in Philadelphia for a year. I started my coffee journey way back in Iowa, where I'm from. So I've kind of been all over.
That's awesome.
But one of my favorite parts about Starbucks is that you kind of have a home wherever you are. And that's true for us partners, too. So it was great. I'm so excited to be in Boston, in the Back Bay. It's been like it's been cool. It's been less than a month,
Yeah,
so I'm still getting
that's
to know.
really great.
Being in the financial district is so cool to see all the big buildings and stuff. But yeah, it's
Well,
fun.
we are really glad to have you down in Boston.
Thanks.
Have had the fortune of running into you a bunch of times now, especially for the marathon this past weekend.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun being a part of it. I was glad to be on the floor with you for some of it down on Newberry Street. How was the experience, your first marathon down here in Boston?
It was so cool. It was such a great energy that was brought into the city, and it was just a few days, and it just kind of hit hard, and there were so many new people, and it was like the world was right outside our doors. All these people from all over the world were everywhere. It was so much fun. I loved it.
Well, I'm definitely glad to have you in Boston. I'm glad to have had a chance to work with you. I'm definitely glad to have had you on the show. Real quick, we're about to run out of battery on my cell phone as we're taping. I want to give you a chance to plug your website. Talk to us for a second about your website.
So I started a website, kind of the same heart that you're having, Adam, with wanting to connect partners as a training tool. We started a website called coffeemasternewengland.com, and we have some social media sites that have the same username. We just want to use that for partners from all over New England to connect with what we're doing with coffee and have ideas for pairings or coffees that they've never tried before, especially if you're way up in Maine, you don't have coffee masters around every corner.
Right.
So it's a great way that you can connect to a community no matter where you are and get ideas if you have a tasting coming up or you're getting ready for your certification.
So what I'm going to do is after we sign off, I am going to tweet out that link to that website, so you can go right back to my Twitter account. You can find that link. I'll get that out there, and I will have it in the description on YouTube for this video when it goes up on YouTube. And just at ready_go on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm at Sombre Adam on Twitter. Ange, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a
Partners,
blast.
thanks for joining in, and have a great Tuesday, everyone.
Bye, guys.